Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to see how we can execute a VBScript file from UiPath Studio. This can be done using the Invoke VBScript activity which is present. The key takeaways from this video would be how can we pass various input arguments into the VBScript file. At the same time, how if we want to pass on the result into the UI Studio back, then how are we going to do it? The another important thing is if our VB script is returning, we want to return multiple output values into the UiPath Studio for further processing, then how are we going to do it? So stay tuned till the end of the video to see all the things happening. So let's start with today's big learning in this short video. So let's first pull out the Invoke VBScript activity. So here we can see there is first one is the where we have to pass the file path of the VBScript which we want to get executed. Then we have something for the input arguments we want to pass, and then the output result will be captured over here. So in this one, we will demonstrate all this, and the problem statement would be we are going to pass two arguments of which we want the sum as well as the product. So the output result should display both sum of the two numbers which we are passing as well as the product of both the numbers. So let's first build the VB script. To build the VB script, we can open Notepad. So in the Notepad, we will write the VB script. So in order to capture the arguments which are passed from the UiPath Studio activity into this VB script, we can use this syntax. So number one is a variable. Num1 is a variable which will store the first argument which you are passing, and the syntax is wscript.arguments and bracket 0. The indexing starts from 0, and the num2 variable will capture the second input argument which we are passing. So that would be wscript.arguments, and the first in bracket we will pass 1. Now in order to get the sum and product of both these numbers, we will write these two lines of code. We are converting the number which is passed in as a string into integer, and number 2 also into integer, and then we are getting the sum and storing it in variable sum. Similarly, the same thing has been done for the product variable. Now the last step over here would be to pass the result back into the studio. So the result sum and product we have to pass. So this can be done using the wscript echo. So in wscript.echo, we are passing whatever we want to pass back into the UiPath Studio activity. So this is a string. The entire thing will be passed back into the studio. So sum of the first argument and second argument is whatever the sum came, and the second one is product of first argument and second argument is the product. Now let's save this VBScript file and get back to the studio. So let's save this VBScript. To save it, you have to choose all types of extension and give the name .vbs and click on save. So our VB script is ready now. Let's get back to the studio. So in the studio, first thing we have to do is pass the VB script path. So we'll point it to the VB script path, and we have to pass two input arguments. So here we have to note that everything we can pass is only string. So that's why we have passed string. So inside the VB script, we are converting it to a integer. So let's pass the first argument be 2, which we are storing in num1 variable, and the second argument is 4. So our input arguments are also saved, and the output result we will get in the form of a string. So let's create an output variable. output result, let's say. So a variable has been created, output result as string, and whatever is being sent back from the VBS file will be stored in the output result. So now let's print this output result and see how does it looks. So for that we will use the log message and print the output result. We'll execute it. The execution has completed, and in the output pane we can see we have got our result. Sum of 2 and 4 is 6 and product of 2 and 4 is 8, which is as per expectation. But this is coming as a single variable. But let's imagine we want to have it in multiple variables, then how we can do it. So for that, what we have to do is we'll use a for each loop, and the for each loop will iterate for all the items of the output result. But before that, we have to split this output result. So we will use an assign activity, and in assign activity we will split this output result and store it in an array. So let's create an output array. So arr out variable, which is nothing but an array of strings, and then we will use the split function in order to split this out result. So the first argument will be out result, and the delimiter which we will use to split is VBCRLF. This is nothing but the new line character. So the split looks something like this: split output result, and the delimiter is new line, that is VBCRLF. So once this is done, we will put the ARR out into the for loop, and we have to print each of the item. Now let's execute and see. So we were able to successfully split whatever result we got into different lines, and then we were able to extract all the information. So the first line is sum of 2 and 4 is 6, and the second is product of 2 and 4 is 8. So this way we can execute a VBS file using Invoke VBScript activity, pass various input arguments into the VBS file, as well as get multiple values out from the VBS file back into Studio for further processing. Hope this video was helpful to you. Stay tuned to my channel for more such videos. Happy learning. Thank you.